Okay. Hello everybody. I'm my beautiful Galveston Island. I actually started this video on Tiki Island from the comfort of my bedroom. Anyway, and on my new computer, but I can't figure out how to send it somewhere or share it or rename it or whatever. So, and I needed to get along and get started with the date. So, wonderful, wonderful, glorious day. I hope you're having a glorious day. I understand that my extended friends and family out in San Jose are cold. And I think it's like about 75 degrees here. So I'm enjoying a sunny beach day. So a few minutes of it anyway. But I wanted to take a moment out to talk to us about how to survive through the holiday feastings and all the wonderful things that we are encountering. First of all, I want to remind you that the reason for the whole season of celebration is about peace and love and joy, okay? And so this is a time for us to cultivate those things in our hearts and minds and in our bodies, okay? So, with that being said, I'm playing. Anyway, um, that being said, the two most important things I think I want to bring up are about moderation and balance in all things, spirit, mind, and body. So, how are we going to exercise moderation and balance in a spiritual sense? Okay, first of all, when we are first thing in the morning, when you get up first thing in the morning, actually I do this before my feet hit the floor. Okay, I wake up. Normally I have a song in my heart that kind of wakes me up. It's like down inside of here, not here. um and this morning's song was Our God is an Awesome God. Okay, He reigns in heaven and earth with power and love. Okay, and so as we find our power and our love and connect with that source of all power and all love, okay, then we're tuned up for a glorious day. Okay, and no matter where we're going or who we're involved with or anything like that, when we connect with spirit at the very beginning of it all, okay, and it's not like you got to get on your knees and whine and cry and pray and Lord, please help me through this day and all these things. Please don't let somebody do this to me or do that to me. No, 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 no. um a lot of times in my way, I just kind of quietly say, good morning, glory. Good morning, Lord. I am here. I am ready to serve this day. Show me where am I going. Bring them on that need the love and the healing. That is my prayer every time. That's what I've practiced in my life for the most recent years. Now, that doesn't mean that sometimes I don't wake up with leftover tired or leftover, I'll say the word stress, or leftover concerns about something that's going on or something that's coming up or even something that was in the past. But what I do is focus on the spirit that dwells inside me and cultivate, bring up the spirit of love, okay, and peace and joy. And the joy of the Lord is my strength. And that's the way I start spiritually. Now, how do we exercise moderation and balance in the spirit? It's because we don't go around with our Holy Ghost hammers bopping bunnies upside the head. We allow our sisters and brothers to be who they are and in the place where they are. And always in tune with and asking permission from Spirit if there is something that you can suggest to them, if there is something, some manner, some word, and it will come forth. It will come forth so powerfully that you can't stop it if you try. Okay, so just lean into that. But it's not your job to go forth and condemn anyone or judge anyone. Many times I am with friends or loved ones, or however that situation is, and I might ask that person, is there something that I can help you with? And a lot of times, if you allow them to just talk, they'll talk their way straight through into the solution to their dilemma or their cause or whatever it is that they're seeking. And they'll hear it coming from within the divinity that is within them. And so then they don't feel like they're judged by you, or they don't feel offended by what you say, because basically you just listened, and with an open heart of love allowed Spirit to speak to them and through them. That's where the balance and moderation is. A lot of times when it's our family and our close friends, it's kind of hard to do that, because we want to tell them what we know they ought to be doing. Okay? Moderation and balance. Okay, so there's Spirit. Okay, mind. Mind comes in there with just our thoughts. Okay? So if we're going to be encountering scenarios, and we will, even in the supermarket, okay, where people are fearful or angry or confused or all manner of emotions, okay, how do we enter moderation and balance for that? Once again, we're going to revert to Spirit. And if it's past associations with family members that may not have been very kind or rewarding for us, what we want to do there is flip that script. Okay? You don't have to defend yourself or who you are. You can just be who you are. And if that person has offended you in the past, then recognize that you took on that offense. Okay? Flipping the script means I don't have to hold that. Okay? I can let that go. This is a new day. And 9 times out of 10, that person has already let it go much longer ago than you recognize. So if you're holding on to something, it's because you're holding on to it. Letting go is going to be a big part of this holiday season, especially with moderation. Okay? Moderation and balance. Now, how do we have moderation and balance in these bodies when there are so many wonderful holiday drinks and holiday food and holiday sweets and the propensity, the opportunity to overindulge? Okay, so let's go with eating first. When you're sitting down, paying attention to the surroundings about you and paying attention to the insides of you. Okay? Stop eating about 3 bites shy of the full feeling. Okay? Slow down. Look at the food, enjoy the presentations, and allow your body to absorb. Allow your senses. Allow the sense of smell. Okay? Allow the sense of taste. Allow the sense of feel. Okay? Even in your mouth. And as you're doing this, you're extending the experience of the food and the fellowship of the people that are around you. Okay? Okay, so, and when we come to balance, one of the things that we are going to need to balance, because many of us are at a point in life where our age is bringing us into some consequences, okay, of all those years of having maybe overindulged or things like this. And I'm really talking about things like if you have illnesses, diabetes being a big one, high blood pressure being a big one. And so you want to modify, and you definitely want to do things in moderation, but in balance. Okay, what balances darkness? Light. What balances heat? Cool. What balances wet? Dry. What balances sweet? Bitter. Okay? When we're thinking in terms of this, and say for instance, if we are having diabetic type symptoms or even high blood pressure type symptoms, we blame it all on salt, but there's a balance for that too. So salt is naturally drying and hardening, and that is why we get the imbalance of um, what we think is a high salt consumption. High blood pressure really isn't quite that. But the way we balance, once again, sweet is going to be your leafy green vegetables, which are going to have more of a bitter taste. Your root vegetables that are prominent this time of year, your rutabagas and your turnips and your parsnips, those kinds of things are going to balance out the sweet, okay? Especially the green leafy vegetables, your mustard greens, your collard greens, even a cup of coffee. Don't fill it up with the creamer and that sort of a thing. Just a few sips of that. Start your day with a warm drink. There I go, warm water with lemon. That's going to start your day in a cleansing process that's going to go all the way through your bloodstream, not just your digestion. And then if you can have another cup of maybe warm tea or even warm water with lemon. If you're having a meal, and have the glass of water that's served with the meal without ice, and so you can add lemon to that, okay? And eating fresh. Now, one of the things that we do is we put up all that wonderful leftovers foods. Most of us try to pawn it off on our family that's traveling. So, here, have some of this, take some of this, because we don't have space to even put it up. But if you have food that is left over from your big meal on Christmas Day or whatever day that is, after about day number 3, that's over. Okay, food loses its life-giving properties about 3 days after it's been prepared, especially if it's cooked. Now, if you have organic foods and organic fruits that are still raw, they actually last a little bit longer, and they'll retain their life-giving properties. But when you're dealing with cooked food, and of course it's going to still taste good, and we've had it in the refrigerator and it's safe and all these kinds of things, but you just as soon eat a package of cardboard for the nutritional benefit, because you're not going to get a lot of it. And so there's moderation in that, all right? And so you want to be starting with fresh fruit. Actually, the day after Christmas meal might be okay for a day of leftovers, and while you're sitting at the table and with the smaller gathering, you're remembering, oh, Aunt so-and-so brought this, I want some of that, this sort of a thing. And of course, enjoy. But by day 3, you want to calm it down. You might want to be maybe having a lighter soup, or a lighter stew, gumbo, something that's warm and moist, that's going to get into the body and get your elimination system back in balance. Okay, so those things are going to be important. Now, I will be available 3 days after Christmas if you have questions. Okay, pay attention to your body. Eat only enough that it's going to allow you to be comfortable in your body. You don't want to hop into the recliner and take a nap because you're in a food coma. Okay, yeah, it was good, but there's plenty still on the table, and there's another time that you can have another meal. Okay, even if it's for breakfast the next morning, you might want some more of that turkey and dressing with cranberry sauce for breakfast, and you can do that. Okay, warm beverages. Now, getting down to the alcohol. What's going to balance the alcohol? Once again, your greens. So a couple of days after all this holiday feasting and stuff, in between Christmas and New Year's, before you pull off that big alcoholic binge, you might want to have a lot of kale and broccoli and celery, and if you can juice, then wonderful. Carrot, apple, ginger, celery, wonderful, wonderful juice for helping boost the body, and help with a little bit of detoxifying. Add kale to that, add spinach to that, add broccoli to that, and then you've got those cleansing greens that are going to help support the liver throughout all this thing. The liver and the kidneys take a battering, okay? And so it's going to be important to help these filters to purify some of this stuff that we're consuming. So keep those things in mind in a healthy perspective. So my 2 words for you are moderation and balance. Okay, call me if you have questions about that heartburn. Don't go running off to the doctor and getting some I don't know, Nexium, the purple pills, or all this kind of stuff. Okay, you don't really have to go there. Okay, the warm lemon water will help you get over the hangover headache in the morning. You're just going to need to drink a lot more of it. Okay, about 16 ounces of it. Okay, and then about an hour and a half later, after you've gone to the bathroom a couple of times, you'll notice that your headache has subsided naturally. Yeah. So enjoy your holiday in moderation and in balance. And remember, I love you all. Happy holidays, everybody.